So yeah, for this session, let's look at the syllabus first. So this session is about knowing the terminal. So half of your things, not half, maybe 90% of your things that you are doing on Linux will be done through your terminal. So after you have installed Linux, your first step is to know the terminal. So yeah, let's look at the syllabus here. So first we'll be looking at what is the terminal exactly, what is shells, what are shells, and some basics of terminal. How does it look? What is the command prompt? What is some basic terminal commands? What are the arguments, how are we going to work with commands. Also, we are also showing some demo of some commands, and also we'll look at the last we'll look at tab completion and working with files, which are like file management thing, like copy pasting and removing, renaming, and also looking at the file extensions, etc. So yeah, this is all about the syllabus for today's session. I hope you're all ready. If you have not yet switched on your VM, we suggest you to power on your VM, open your Linux VM, and get ready for the session.
So if any commands we tell you guys, you can copy them directly from the site. It's a bit easier to use and a bit clearer. Okay. So first of all, what exactly is a terminal? So when computers were not as portable and not as readily available, they used to fit like in half a room, and not everyone in a university would have a separate machine. And because it was much more academic in those days, everyone needed to use it. Someone needs to run calculation, someone needs to run a program or anything. So if a computer which was located in another room and was slow and was not portable at all, there was a need for a way to communicate with that machine without actually taking the machine in different rooms. So a device called a terminal was created, and a terminal was basically a similarity monitor and a keyboard. And when you would type a key in the keyboard, the key would be shown in your screen and the key would be relayed to the host machine. And the host machine would read those keys, read the commands, send the output back to the screen. That was it. It was just a dumb TV screen and a keyboard which used to talk to the machine. And as over time, like we don't use physical terminals nowadays. Computers are very cheap and like very easy to produce. Everyone has their own computer. So the terminal and host paradigm was very useful for people. People still wanted to use computers that way. So thus terminal emulators were created. So an emulator is basically something which recreates another thing. So in this case, we are emulating the hardware of a terminal in software. So even if you open the terminal in your machine, you are actually using a terminal emulator and it's not technically a terminal. And next up, shells. So a shell is a very important concept. It is basically you are covering the operating system's very messy workings by simple commands. So instead of telling the operating system, if you need to move a file, the operating system needs to do 10 things behind the scenes. Instead of you doing those 10 things, you can just give the operating system one command and it will execute that command. So a shell, this GUI I'm using right now is also a shell. The Windows, when anyone is using Windows, the GUI there, that is also a shell. And even a terminal is also a shell. So a shell is anything that lets you interact with the OS without actually touching the kernel. And the Linux world and in the Unix world basically, the Bourne shell was a very important, or called SH, was a very important shell. And most of the commands we use today come somehow, somewhere or another from the Bourne shell. And basically, people built upon the Bourne shell and created the Bourne again shell, which was called Bash. And in most of your machines, you guys are having either Bash or a variation of Bash. So ZSH, Fish, or any of those. Okay. Now everyone, you can open the terminal in your machine. You can press either find the icon or Control Alt T or the super key, which is also the Windows key, plus T. Use any of these shortcuts and open up the terminal, and you will see a window like this. Okay. This is called a terminal. And in prompt, we have three important parts: the current user, the current machine, and the current folder. Okay, so if this is basically taken from my own machine. So the user is me, Sam. This is the name of my machine, and this is the current directory I'm working on. And this tilde sign it's called a tilde, and it represents the home directory of the user. So if you're in Windows, there's the C/user/your name folder. That is basically this tilde. Okay. So now you will be wondering why we need all three of these. So a single machine can have multiple users. So it can be you can have different profiles, different user profiles while working. So it's important to know who is executing the command and whose home folder it is. Also, the machine is important as you can access any machine using a terminal. As I said, terminal is just a dumb thing to access a smart machine. So even you can access a different machine the internet using a terminal. So you need to know which machine you're actually working on. And the current folder is so you know in which the commands are being executed. That's it. And yeah, you can see this $sign here. This $sign reminds you that you are not the admin, you're not the root user, you're not the main admin of the system. And it's good that you're not, because if you are, you can basically break the system in any way. Okay, now let's come to command. This is basically just the syntax of a command or how they work. So basically, a command, this is the command here, and a command can have the name of the command. It can have flags, switches, and arguments. An argument to a command is basically like an argument to a function. Okay, you need that argument for it to do something. And in this case, the command is ls, which is to list the contents of folder, and the argument is the tilde sign, which is the home directory. So you're basically telling the terminal, telling the operating system to list the files in folder tilde or the home folder. So now, what are these funky things? -L is a single hyphen and a single letter. That is called a flag. So a flag basically is used to modify the output or in some way tell the command that, oh, I also need you to do this extra thing. Here we are telling it to so L stands for long. So here we are telling it to output the contents of a folder in a long format. And this is the switch. A switch is just like a flag. It has the same functionality, but it's usually not just one single letter. It's a complete word, and is preceded by two hyphens. And here we are telling it to use a block size of k, which basically means I need the output to be in kilobytes, basically. So this would be the output of the command, and you don't need to understand it right now, but one thing I will tell you, this is the long format of output, which was shown by -L. These are the contents of home folder, so that's what you're seeing here. And block size k, if you see, all the sizes are shown in kilobytes, 1k, 4k. So that's how we can modify the output of a command by using flags and switches. Okay, so now you guys will move on to actually using the terminal and some more basics of it, and Bileshwar will take it.
So yeah, just as a summary just as a summary of what Samrit said for the people who joined late maybe. So here we discussed about terminal. Terminal, actually in the old days we had some physical terminals through which we used to contact with the computer, send some commands, receive back the output. But nowadays, since things are revolutionizing, we are getting the terminal emulator, which is basically a software for the physical terminal. And nowadays all we get from the terminal is this. When you open your VM and you go to this terminal thing, this will open up. So this is your terminal emulator nowadays, and it's software and it works just as the way, like it sends some commands to the computer and it receives the output and it prints the output. So basically shell is actually who is doing the main work. Shell is actually talking with the kernel, doing all the execution of the command, and terminal is just a GUI of the shell, you can say like that. Like the screen which you are seeing here is the part of the terminal, but any command which you type here is actually passed on to the shell, and the output you see here is actually given by the shell. So yeah, this is the bash shell, which is pretty common nowadays we are using. And yeah, that would be the summary. And coming to this, the prompt. Yeah, so this when you open up the terminal, you will see something like this. So So what this is basically, your first part of before the @ sign is your username. So actually, maybe all of us who have installed it must have done it through a local user. So I will learn about users later point of time, but just as a summary, I will say you this is the user and this is the name of the machine. Like if I'm using Arch, I can name it as Arch. If you're using Ubuntu, it might be Ubuntu for you, etc. So it depends like that. And technically, which this sign you see, the $sign, is actually showing that you are the local user, like you are not the root user. The root user is actually the admin of the system. So if we can modify anything, he can delete the whole system, he can do everything as it, like it has its own power. So if you see, if I just switch to the, okay, if I switch to the root user, you'll see the $sign is replaced by this hashtag, and you can see the name is changed by from Veleshwar to root. So this shows that this is the root user and it has all power over doing any commands, doing everything from the terminal. Once again, I just let's move on. Yeah. So yeah, this talks about it. I will just exit from here and come to my local machine. Yeah, so this was a summary. Now let's see what we have here from the terminal commands. So first of all, what we want to do is to maybe switch into directories. Directories are basically an alias for folders. If you're coming from a Windows environment, you will be having those folders. So directory is just an alias for folders in Linux. So what you see here is the $sign. It stands for the home directory. Like currently, if you press a command that is pwd, it will show you that you are currently in the home directory. Home Veleshwar, it is the user. So if you, for example, you want to switch into another folder or another directory to maybe make a file in the directory, or maybe delete some files, or maybe just showing the contents, etc. So we'll want to switch into that directory. So before that, what we'll do is we'll type the command ls. So ls stands for listing the files. So what we'll get now is it lists all the files which are present in the current working directory. So in this home Veleshwar directory, I have all these files and these folders. This color shows that it is a folder, and the normal files are just in the plain text, like this one, this questions.mb, it's a file, but fancy up downloads, etc., it's a folder. So now, for example, let's say I want to move into a folder, maybe a Linux club site. So I just type cd Linux club site. Now you'll see the tilde here is replaced by this Linux club site here. So this shows that we have successfully changed directories from the home directory to this directory. Now if you type pwd, it shows you the whole directory now. Now from home Veleshwar, you are now in the Linux club site folder or the directory. So all these commands are listed here. We can see here the pwd command, which stands for print working directory. It outputs you the current directory which you are working upon. So if you are in the home directory, when you use pwd, it shows you the whole path of the directory. And if you are in the Linux club site, it shows you this path. So that is the work of pwd. And ls, as we saw, it's like lists all the files or subdirectories present in the current directory. And cd stands for change directory. It helps in changing from navigate between directories from one to the other. And technically, for moving around the Linux system, you'll use these three commands overall to move around. So first, maybe you'll see. So yeah, I'll just clear the screen. So first, maybe you'll see what are all the folders here by typing ls. Then you want to switch to backmagic. So you'll just do cd into backmagic. And then after you have switched into that, you will also want to see what is all the files here, and maybe you'll see which directory I'm currently working upon. Yeah, this is the directory. So this is helpful when like for example, you open a new terminal and you can see here the current directory is home directory. So now maybe say you want to directly move into this backmagic directory, which is in a nested, for example, the nested file system. First you'll have to move into this Linux club site folder, then you'll have to move into backmagic. Now let's complicate things. Now let's move into cd API and then again into cd templates maybe. Yeah, now we are in the latest directory. Now if you use pwd, yeah, we are in like 4 nests inside the directory. Now if you have a new shell here and you want to move into that directory, what you will have to do, you will have to do cd linux club, then you will have to do again you have to do cd backmagic, then you have to do again you have to type on ls and cd api etc. So that's a long process, so you generally won't want that. So what you will do is, if you want to go into this directory, you use pwd here. So this will help you in directly switching to this directory. So you'll get this output here, and you will press Ctrl Shift and C. After selecting the output, this will help you to copy the output, and then now you can directly cd from here, cd Ctrl Shift V to paste the output, and directly you'll be taken into that directory, templates, which is also here, templates. So this was all about moving around. So you can just go ahead and try moving to any directory which you can see. So Linux system is basically just a hierarchy of files. So half of your work will be moving into directories, opening up a file, maybe writing some code, executing it. So through that way only you can totally take control of your system. You don't need to open any GUI. Everything will be done from the terminal. So yeah, this was the first part of moving into directories. Now let's look at the command history. Okay. So the command history basically stores the list of all the commands you have used in the past. For example, here I've used ls, then I've used cd backmagic, then maybe pwd again, then again pwd. So this stores all these commands in a list, and what it allows us to rerun this command easily. Now, for example, you have a very long command. For example, I type here a b c d, anything like a very long command, etc. And yeah, it is always going to show you an error because there is no command such that. But yeah, you can see here the bash. This is the shell which we are using, which somebody was talking about. So yeah, it shows the error that there is no command called as a. So what you can do now is, for example, this was a valid command, and now you want to rerun that command. So you don't have to type it again. You can understand it. The complexities in typing out exactly the same way as it was. For example, if I miss a space here, or I just do it like this, then it will not give you the same output as it was giving earlier. Now it's not a valid command, that's why it's the same output. But if it was a real life command, you will have to type it again in the same complexity. So to prevent from that, the command history comes into play. So what we can do is, we can easily type or rerun the commands which is used in the previous, like you have used in the past. So what you will do is, you press the up arrow key in your keyboard, and that will take you the just previous command which you have typed, which you can see here. Now if you want to run the just above command other than that, you have to press the arrow key again above one more time. So it will take you here a very long command. So you can see it's being totally replicated. Now you want to run other commands which are used in the past. So you can again press the up arrow key, then clear, then pwd again, ls, cd templates, ls, etc., cd api, etc. So that's how this is the command history. And yeah, this might not be super useful, like if you want to use a command which is used long back, you don't have to press the up arrow key again and again. So to solve that, what we can do is, we just type the command history. This will give you the list of all the commands starting from the first to the last which you have used in this current session. So you can see it starts from like nearly 36. There are also more than that, but it can print up to from there only. From 36 to 500 something. Yeah, 535. You have the list of all the commands here. So let's say you want to use a specific command here. For example, let maybe anything. Git, this one 471 git branch maybe, or something of a whatever commands for you want to use it. So all you have to do is just go to this number. So if it's 471 and if you want to run it, what you'll do is, you'll press the exclamation mark and then just type the number 471. So that will give you the output of the branch. You can see the git branch command being executed, and you'll have the output of the command shown here. For example, you want to clear the screen, and for that what you will do, 532 is the number, 532. If you press that, your screen will be cleared, like the output will be done, for that command will be executed. Alright, so hope everyone can follow through. We have been provided with this link. I'll just share it again. Just open up that link and you can easily copy commands from that interface which you have provided. So I hope this is clear, the command history. It's very important. Like now, after the first time which you have used, it may not be like sound very good to you, but as you use Linux throughout your like maybe the life however used, the command history is like a major part. You won't want to type out the exact command every time you want to like run it. So all you have to do is go to this command history and then choose the number, then you can execute it, or you can always navigate between the up arrow key and the down arrow key. So as you have seen, this is the sample output which you have shown from here, and yeah, 489. So this is the number and this is the command next to it. So this was all about the history, command history. Now coming to the tab completion. Yeah, tab completion is a major part here. It allows you to auto-complete your commands. Like you don't need to type out the full commands, because as a system administrator or as a Linux system administrator, as you use it over the time, you'll have to save as many keystrokes as possible. Like what I want to say is you have to type the command, or you'll have to execute a particular process as fast as possible. So for here, the tab completion comes to play. For example, here I will just go back to my main home directory. For that, you'll have to press CD. For example, you are in any of these directories in the nested directories, and you want to go back to your tilde, which is the home directory. All you have to do is just press CD. Just simple CD, and it will take you to the home directory. Let's just clear the screen and let's just do ls, and maybe yeah, again the Linux Club site only. Now yeah, you can see here this is Linux Club site is there. Now I don't want to type out the full name, like I don't want to type out Linux, then I will type a capital C, then club, then again S, then site. This is time taking, right? For in real time scenarios, you won't have to type out the full name with like the space. You can miss out a space, or you can like miss out a capitalization error, so that will not like take you. For example, yeah, Linux is case sensitive. I'll just show you one simple thing. You can see here this NIC directory is there, right? If I type NIC only, then only I can CD to that directory. Now if you type CD NIC, just the small part of it, there is no such file or directory. So Linux is case sensitive. It's all same for commands also. You can not type CD in capital and then NIC. That will also not be working. So you'll have to be case sensitive. For this region, you won't want to type out the whole command. So what we'll do is, after let's just do it again. Now you see the Linux Club site is there. Sorry, here. So what we'll do is you'll just type CD, then maybe LI, the first few initials, then you'll press tab. If you press tab, it will auto-complete the directory or like the files, whatever you're looking at, and it will just provide you the full output. So now you just can easily go into the directory just by pressing tab once. Now for example, I will again do this, and I will just, okay, 1 second, I'll just CD back. Yeah, now ls. Now I have, if you can see, I have Linux Club site as well as I have Learn Linux. So if I just type cdl and then press tab, I won't get any results, because there are two files, or there are multiple directories or files which are starting with the same initial that I have provided here. So only if I provide here E, which is a unique pattern, like there is no other folder or directory here which is starting from LE, then only if I press tab, it will complete for me Learn Linux. Or if I press here LI and there is no other directory or file which is starting from LI, then it will complete me to Linux Club site. Now if I want to see all the files which are starting with this, now if I press tab, you will see nothing is working. So now if I want to see whatever, I want to see all the multiple possibilities which are starting from M. So what we'll do is we'll press tab twice. So if you do this CDL and then press tab twice, you'll see you'll get this both possibilities. Like it shows you all those possibilities which are starting from L, and it's again waits you in the command prompt, and it allows you to like enter one more character to like distinguish into a particular unique match. So now if I enter LI, it will take you to Linux Club site. Hope this is clear. I will just show you one more example. Tab completion is very important, guys. Like you won't like over the time how you use it. Like you have to be very fast with commands and all. So you have to learn tab completion anyhow. So let's see one more example. Yeah, it's code crafters. Maybe this is a very long name, right? I don't want to type this whole name in CD. So what I will do is I'll just press CD. I'll just press C. Then I will see there are multiple results. So what I will do, I'll press C, tab twice. So this will show me there is one file called as Chrome driver. There is one file called as code crafters. What do you want to CD to? Do you want to CD here or here? I'll just press code CO. Now it will distinguish. I'll press code crafters. Yeah, very well. So yeah, I hope everyone is able to follow it. Now I'll just show you how fast you can do this. I'll just CD into Linux Club. Then I'll go to LEG VITC. Then I'll go to SRC. Then I'll go to Pages. and then I will just open session. Okay, then I'll just go into Linux, learn Linux, then I'll open Vim session 2. That's how you can do it very fast. But if you had to type it all the way, it would have been very slow. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, tab completion is done. Now coming to manual pages. So manual pages basically give you the complete description of a command. It prints out the name, it prints out the description, it prints out how the syntax, how you're going to use it, the options, the exit status, etc., and the authors, etc. So for example, let's say you're using maybe sometime and you forgot the syntax of the command, or maybe you forgot the one argument of the command. What you'll have to do is it's natural. You don't have to remember all the arguments, all the like syntax properly. So it happens. So what you can do is you can simply go on man, and you can just man is short for manual, and you can type out a command man ls. So it will take you here. It will show you the name ls list directory contents. It will show you the synopsis, like the syntax, how you are going to use it, option and file. It will show you the description, and it will show you all of these options, like the arguments which are available. One thing I would like to show is the -a, the -a is the short form for --all. As Samrit was saying it's just a flag and it's a switch. So in the switch, basically you'll have to type out the whole name, but in case of a flag, you just type out the short form of that. So -a stands for --all, and --A stands for almost all. So yeah. So this shows you nearly all the options here which you can do. Whatever you can do, you can type -l or -f. What does that does, and -a example, like that. So manual pages are really helpful. To quit out of like when you click on a manual, like say man cd, and you can see how you can navigate is you can either click spacebar to navigate, or you can use your cursor to move up and down the file. Now to exit this interface out of the manual pages, you will have to press Q. So if you press Q, you will come out to your command prompt. I hope that is clear. For example, now say when you type ls, there is a argument called ls -l. This lists out all the commands, all the hidden files also, ls -al actually. And yeah, you can see here, this prints out, these are the permissions which we'll talk to you later about. This is the owner of the who is the owner of this particular directory, what is the directory, when it was created, etc. This is the size, maybe, if I'm not wrong. So this shows you, this ls -al command shows you this. But if you simply type out ls, it will just show you a simple version which will show you just the files which are present in the directory. So in this way, according to your usage, you will always want to see what are all the options available in the manual pages. So you can anyway go to man and just type out whatever the command you want to go, and you can see the description here, and then you can use it that way. Press Q to quit out of it, then clear to clear the screen. Very well. Now manual pages is done. Now let's talk about files. Yeah, as I was telling about, Linux is all about file management. It's just a hierarchy of files. So all you have to do, like 90% of your work, is to just open up terminal, go to a specified directory, open up a file, code something, then execute that. All will be done in the terminal. So all you have to do is just work with files. So that's how. Let's see the first section, which is about file types. Basically, what I will tell you is Linux is this Linux environment does not support, it does support, but it does not. It is not necessary to give you the file extension. For example, if you are coming from Windows, you'll always notice that if you want to make a file, I'll just show you from this GUI here. Now this is the first time I'm opening the folder here, like in the session, to show you. Yeah, you can see here .py extension. So .py is just the extension for this Python file. So Python files end with .py, or you can say what? Yeah, this is a markdown file. This will end with .md, and maybe a text file that will end with .txt, and a package.json file, it will end in .json. So in Windows, you generally have this, like a file extension which shows you what type of file is what you're looking at. So but in Linux, we don't have that. Basically what you can do is, I'll just exit this out. Yeah, basically what you can do is you can just make a Python file. You just type vim. The vim command is actually text editor, and I'm just using it to create a file. You may not have it now, but we'll teach you afterwards. Don't worry about it. As of now, you can just look at this screen for just this specific tutorial. What you can do, I'll just make a file. Let's say test file. You can see I have not provided any extension like .py or .c or .cpp or .txt, not anything like that. I'll just create a test file. That's it. Now I'll open it. I'll just type out few Python program. I'll import time. I'll just do time.sleep for 3 seconds maybe, and then just print hello world, and then I'll just make a list maybe. Okay, this is a keyword lst. Alright, then I'll append it with works without file extension, and then I will just print lst. Yeah, this is basically a Python code, as you can see. So let's save it out. I've saved the file. Now for running this Python file, I'll just do this command python and test file. I'm using tab again. I didn't type the full name, I just use tab. So yeah, so it's the sleep is working. It waited for 3 seconds. It printed out hello world. It printed out the list which has this item called works without file extension. So you can see in Windows what you'll have to do, you'll have to open a code terminal, like a code editor like VS Code or something. You have to open the, like I have to run that file, etc. But in Linux you can do it all through a terminal. For like I'll share you my personal experience. I don't have a code editor. Like all of my coding is done through only this terminal, and I use Vim particularly. So I can just make files like that. I'll just make a C file, for example, test file, maybe test5.c. I will not provide C. Okay, now let's provide C and just C, and I'll just do hash include stdio.h and maybe printf hello C program here. Alright, I guess return 0 as well. So this must work. So what I will do is I will just, for my compiler clang, then I will just tell it to compile this with the name test5. Okay, now it's compiled. Now I will just run that program, test f1. Yeah, you can see hello C programming. So you can see there is it also works with, it also supports file extension as well as it also works without file extension. So yeah, so what I was talking about is so when when you're using Linux, there might be many situations where you use where you don't have file extensions. So how will you determine what type of file is it? So it is a challenge. So for that we have this file command. You can always follow our like this website to copy the commands. So talking about this file command, you can just maybe type this command file etc passwd. So you'll see it shows you that the etc passwd file is an ASCII test file. So and if you just type file, then maybe the current directory which you're working upon is this test file. Yeah, it also shows you the ASCII text. Now maybe I'll just show you how to, like it's a binary file. If I do file, then you can go to bin, the passwd. Don't worry about this etc and bin about now. We'll just this is a file system hierarchy. We'll tell you more about it throughout the sessions. But yeah, you can just, as of now, you can just run this commands. What you'll say is, yeah, you'll see it is a, shows you a very big like a file type which is executable file, 64-bit LSB, version 1, dynamically linked interpreter, etc. So basically this is a binary file, and for this you have this output. And for example, maybe just a text file, you have this output ASCII text. So using this file command, you can just get to know what type of the file it is without actually, like in the Linux environment which doesn't support file extension. So this is a helpful command. Now let's clear up the screen and go to the next command. The cat command. Yeah, now we'll have to do is we'll have to look at the file contents. So what we have to do is we'll just make a file. Maybe everyone can make a file. To make a file, you just have to do touch. Okay, now you don't have to make a file. We'll teach you that later. What you can do is all of you must have this file called etc passwd. This is this stores your password. So what you can do is just type out this command cat etc passwd. You can see it shows you all the output. Like this is a file, and the cat command shows you all the contents that are present in the file line by line. So this is the first line, root, daemon, then mail, then http, etc. This is all about the contents of the file. Now you can also do it in your simple way, which is the cat what is the file that you made, test file. And also, yeah, you can see here, this is much more relatable. Like we just coded out this import time, print hello world, etc. So yeah, this is what the cat command prints out the contents present in the file, and just it shows you the what are the lines present in the file without actually opening the file. For opening the file, I am using Vim, so I just use this file name. It will work. But since you'll be, if you're using Ubuntu, you'll have this command that gedit basically. Then you can just open it. I won't have gedit. Okay, I also have. Nice. So it works. But yeah, we can do that way. As of now, don't worry about making files. We'll teach that later. But yeah, so cat command stands for concatenate. It is the short for concatenate, and it outputs all the contents to the screen. You can also output two of the files, multiple files actually. It's easy. Just let's do this. Cat test file and maybe test file. These were both the files which I made. Yeah, test file, no such file or directory. Alright. So let's see what all the files we have. Test file.c. Yeah, I missed that. Alright. Now I will just do cat test file tab. Test file tab is not working. It's showing me all because we have test f. So it's showing me all the possibilities. Choose a specific one. Then I just do test file maybe. Now it will work. Yeah. And the second file which I want to say is test f1.c. fi.c. Yeah, it will work. So yeah, you can see this is the output of the first command, which is the first file, and then it is the output of the second command, which is the second file. So this is about the cat. It's super helpful when as you use Linux throughout your overall the time you'll always use this cat command. So that is about cat, and this is the less command. Basically, less command does pretty much the same job as the cat, but what you get is if you type out a long file, it will just show you in pages. For example, if you just do cat/etc/passwd, it's a long file, right? It doesn't exist in just one page of the terminal. You'll have to scroll down to see the whole file. But what less will do is, we'll just if you type less and etc and passwd, it will show you one page at a time. Like this is the start of the page. It is showing you one page, and to see the next page, you'll have to press the space bar. Then it shows you the next page, and then it shows you that it's end, like it's the end of the file. You can't see any more pages. So to exit out of this, what we'll do is we'll press Q. So I hope it was clear. The less command actually shows you the output of a long file in page by page. This helps you in understanding the output better. So you can use spacebar to navigate, Q to quit, then clear to clear the screen. So this is about the less command. And the head command, yeah. So in head command, actually what you can do, you can print out the first 10 lines by default of a file. For example, if I do head etc passwd, it will just print me the first 10 lines. Now this is useful in scenarios. For example, if you're looking through a contact list and you want to find out maybe someone's name starts with an A. So for that, you don't need to print out like the whole thing. You can just do with head, and you can look at the first 10 entries. You will just get it. Now it's by default it prints out the 10 entries, but you can also configure this. You can type out head -n option, then provide the how many lines you want, the first 4 lines or maybe the first 6 lines. Then you can provide the path to the file etc passwd, and it will show you the first 6 lines, as you can see. So it's configurable like this. And after that, we have the tail command. It's also similar in that way. Like the head, it is the tail. It will show you the last 10 lines. This tell etc password. Let's do that. Yeah, it shows you the last 10 lines. It's important in situations where you're appending some content into a file, and for that you just need to look at the last 10 lines of the file. You don't need to look at the whole file. If you're appending something to the bottom, you can just seriously look at the last command, like the last line. So tail is useful in those situations. Like head, it's also configurable, like how many files, how many lines you want to print. etc passwd. It will print out the last 4 lines, etc. So you can do stuff like that. It's easy. Then coming the WC, yeah, it's a very great command, I will say. Like if you want to know, WC stands for word count. So if you want to know how many number of lines are present in a file, how many characters are present in the file, how many words are present in the file without opening the file, it's helpful in this situation. So all you have to do is you will press WC, then /etc/password. We're just using this /etc/password because it's common in all Linux systems. That's why if you have used any other distro, this command will also work. And as we go throughout the time, we will go to specific, like we'll take various examples also, but because it's just the first terminal session, we are just showing you this common file. So if you press wc/etc/password, it will show you this output. So it shows you the first output is the line. So there are 34 lines in etc password. There are 76 words in etc password, and there are 1884 characters in etc password. So it shows you this output, and yeah, it's helpful in some situations. Hope this is clear. Like if you do pwd, you will see you are inside this temp dir. Now, but you want to copy this file into your home directory. So what you will do? Let's just go into this home. Now you have this tilde, so it's in your home directory, and you want this session2 file inside this home directory. So what we'll do is you will just use the cp command, which is the stands for copy command. We'll provide it with two arguments. One is the path to source file, then is the path to destination file. So yeah, so following this command, our source file is here, is this session2. So our source destination will be, we'll just use the output of pwd here. Just copy it, Ctrl+Shift+C to copy, Ctrl+Shift+V to paste. Alright, now we have temp dir. Now it's not over yet, we'll have to provide another argument, like another part, which is the session2. Now this is the complete name of your file, the whole, what you say, the path of this file, source file. Now for destination file, you want it here, right? You want it in the home directory. So you just use pwd here, it's home Bileshwar. Just copy that, Ctrl+Shift+C, Ctrl+Shift+V here, and then it's not over yet. You have to give it a different name or even the same name, whatever you want the file name to be. For example, let's say anything like random. It should work. Now this is the command. This is cp. This is the source destination. This is our final destination, and if you press enter, it works successfully. Now if you will see, you'll also have this file here, as well as you'll have this file here. I'll just see session. Alright, it's so much. I'll just do ls grep session. Okay, I don't have it. Okay, I just copied it to random, right? I just copied it to a file called random, but I was searching for session. That's why it gave me error. So I'll just do. Don't worry about this grep command. We'll teach you later, but you can just search random. Yeah, you'll see this random file. Basically, you can see from ls also here random. Yeah. So basically, you have copied this file from here to this home directory. All right, very clear. Now we can use the cut. Like if you are coming from Windows, you'll have had heard about the option called cut. What it will do is it will just take out this whole file from here as well, and it will paste here. So you won't have this this file here. So for in Linux, we use the move command, which is the mv command, and we'll just similar to the copy command, we'll just provide it with two destinations. So I just notice you have used the copy command above. So you do it's the move command is similar to the copy command. So now you don't have to type the whole thing. You don't have to type mv, then again home, then again Bileshwar, then again this, what is this, temp dir, etc. Then session2, it's time taking. What you will do, you just pull up the up arrow key, bring just keep on pressing it until you have the required command. Yeah, this is my required command. I have this command. What I will do, I'll just press the left arrow key to navigate to the top of the command. I'll just change cp to mv. That's it. Now you can easily use the command. Now you'll see, now if you type ls here, you'll see it's empty. It doesn't have any file because it got caught. So like it's not in this directory, but it's rather present in this directory. Our source directory is a random file. So I hope this is clear. So you can see how helpful is this command history. Just make sure you use that to the up arrow keys and down arrow keys. So this was all about it. Yeah, we have one more thing, which is the rm. Rm stands for removing. Now let's say you have this directory, you have made this temporary directory, right? You want to remove this directory now. So what you have to remove this directory. What you'll have to do is you'll have to use the rm command. Now rm generally works for file. Now let's first delete a file, then go to directory. We have made this test file, right? If you remember. So you want to delete it. What we will do is we will just use the rm command, then just do test file, then you just try to use tab. It will not work. It will show you all the commands. So just ensure you have. Yeah, now you can just press tab and it will show you rm test file. After you click on that, yeah, it got executed successfully. Now if you press ls, you will see that test test5.c is there, but test file is not there, which was here. So rm is used to remove a file from your like say the directory, current directory. Now what you will do is we'll delete a directory. So let's say this temp directory, want to delete it. So what you will do is you will just use rm and use the -r option, then use the name of the directory. So -r stands for recursive. So you are basically deleting this directory and you are deleting all the files which are present in the directory. So that is how you use this -r option. But I'll show you this will not work. Okay, it actually works. But if you want to remove like empty directories, and if you remember this temp directory was empty, so you didn't have any more like any files in that. So to remove an empty directory, what you will do is you will use the -d option, tempter. Now I have already deleted the directory, so I don't have this, so it will not work. But yeah, remember for empty directory you will use -d. For a directory having files, you use -r. That's it. So yeah, what else? Yeah, how do you remember so many options? Just go to the man page, man rm. You'll see here, remove empty directories. As I say, -r remove directories and their contents recursively. Press Q to quit. Clear. Remember, if a green file shows you that it's executable. Now, what do you mean by executable is when you compile a source file. For example, if you have a code like what we had this test5.c, it's a code like a C code. And when we compile it with this name, testf1. So when you compile a file, it gets executable. So now what do you mean by executable is you can directly execute the file ./testf1. You'll get the output here. I hope you got it. Now if you do ./random, you won't get anything. Just permission denied, because it's like, what do you say, it's a text file, so you can't open a text file using this command like ./random. But you can run this like whichever is green, it shows you that it's an executable file. So you can easily use this executable file with this command. So basically executable files are you can easily like execute them like ./ I will do Chrome driver. It won't work with us. It's like it will start a Chrome driver, you can see on port 95. So basically it will just start a Chromium instance. So for example like that. Now we'll do anything else ./desktop. It won't work. It's a directory. For directory you have to use CD. So I hope this was clear. For executable files it turns green and you can just use them like this. Just as an end note, we'll provide you some shortcuts. This is really useful in the long run when you use Linux over and over. For example, you are typing out a whole command. Control A jumps to the beginning of the command, and Control E jumps to the end of the command. For example, what you say, this let's bring that CP command, which is very long. Where is it? Yeah, this MV command. Now you are here at the last of the command. Now you want to change this command into CP. So what you will do, instead of navigating to the from letter by letter to the last, like the first character, just use Control A. You will directly be moved to the first part. Then you can use 2 times right. Then just change it to CP and then done. Now it will say that it's not possible because we have deleted the directory. So it's saying there is no such file or directory. But yeah, just ignore this. So Control A helps you to go into the top, like the beginning of the command, and if you want to go to the end of the command, you can just use Control plus E. Then if you want to change it random.txt or something, you can do it easily. So basically these are all to improve your fastness of how fast you can type out a command or just execute a task, anything. As a sysadmin, you'll need this, so we're just providing some shortcuts. Apart from that, Control U. So if there is a command called this CP, yeah, it's a long command, right? Now you want to remove this part, like all the part from the first part, you want to remove this. So instead of going to that part here and then using backspace and all so many times, what you'll do is at this cursor, you just press Control plus U. It will delete all the files, all the part of the command which is to the left of this command, like the left of the cursor. Now, for example, you want to delete all the content of the command to the right of this cursor. What you will do is Control plus K, if I'm not wrong. It will delete all the part to the right of the command. You'll just see it again. Maybe yeah, here. Now from -R you want to delete it something. You just do Control K, it will delete. Control U, left part delete. Hope you get it. And yeah, this is all some more shortcuts you can generally see and try it out on your own. We provide it on our website. So basically this concludes our session 2. Hope it was useful for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Just let us know if you have any issues. Else all the best. Just try installing Linux and We'll meet in the next session. We'll just learn terminal.